largest in room air conditioners, I think around 20% or so. And they're expecting things to be on the up.
Price hikes in April. I remember a lot of these companies said that we won't do it in March, but come April, perhaps looking at the scorching summer.
With the way the heat is going, I think people can't do without, they can do without anything, but they can't do without an air conditioner, right? All right, that's the first take on the Nifty, by the way. That's the opening rate. Looking pretty good, up 160 odd points. That's 1% up on the Nifty. The Bank Nifty is up about 1% as well. So there is a pullback that has come through. The first rate in terms of the mid-cap index is also well in the green. So 250 points higher on the mid-cap index. And the advance decline ratio is pretty healthy, well in favor of advances, almost 1,600 stocks on the advancing side. What's gaining? Some of the Adani Group stocks are on the upside. So whether it's Adani Enterprises, Adani Ports, all in the green, up about 2 to 3.5%. Post that, Maruti Suzuki, after its parent company has hiked stake marginally in Maruti, so up almost 2% over there. You have Asian Paints, Hindalco, Titan that are well in the green right now. ICICI Bank, Tata Steel. So it's a secular move on the upside, really, led by banks, autos, all the rate sensitives, and the metal names that are up in the green. On the downside, Bharti Airtel is down about 2%. So reacting to the news flow there, while Sun Pharma and SBI Life are a couple of other stocks that are also just a tad bit in the red. So it's a good opening. It's a strong opening. 17,200 is back. In the broader markets as well, there are a lot of banks that are moving up. So we will talk about that. But for now, the market opening is decent. Whether it holds on to these levels, time will tell. But remember, the 200 DMA is somewhere around the 17,400 mark. So that is a crucial resistance for the market, for the Nifty, that is. But for now, the start is well in the green.
For me, the most interesting fight between the Bulls and the Bears really is happening on Bharti Airtel today. Pull up both the stocks, Bharti Airtel and Reliance, and that's the point that I was just trying to ask Balaji as well. All up till now, the market's sort of thesis has been that perhaps we're not going to get a price war and the worst of the aggression is over. But Reliance's moves on the postpaid side tell us that it's looking at that segment very, very aggressively, and Bharti is reacting negatively. Of course, analysts are saying no one was expecting Bharti to hike prices in postpaid. But the question is, will Bharti be forced to rework, add more goodies in its plan? Will it look at a tweaking to protect its turf? Because postpaid has been Bharti's turf. And that's one of the big debates in the market as we kick things off this morning. Reliance was up about 1%. Okay, let's move on and talk about some of the other movers and shakers. In terms of stocks and news, a couple of these companies that have gotten orders, RailTel, 3.5% up. PNC Infratech is an L1 bidder for a 1,200 crore rupee project, so 3% up there. Titagarh Wagons is up. Voltas, with the commentary coming in from the management, 2.5% higher. PVR is higher, about 2%. We had lots of management commentary on how the blended entity, PVR Inox, is going to look. There's screen edition plans. Market likes the sound of most of those things. Let's just pull up some of the PSU banks as well. Maybe IOB, Bank of India, because yesterday this is where the cuts were extremely deep. Today, there's a lot of recovery. The PSU Bank index itself is up about 1.5%, and some of the constituents are also moving up in tandem. Union Bank, IOB, Bank of India. Most of these stocks have started the day on the positive side. Tex Rail is up 1.5%. By the way, there's a business realignment that has been announced between Tex Rail, some of its subsidiaries, Kalindi Rail. They're looking at a whole business reorientation. So we'll talk about that story as we go forward. Yesterday's listing is doing very well. Devgi Talk, about 4.5% up. So there are more gains being piled on. NBCC, 4% up. So it's a pretty good-looking screen, actually. Beyond the index as well, there's a lot of stock picking and stock selection going on as of now. And the Nifty is holding quite well around the 17,200 mark. Yeah,
by the way, which is yesterday's high. And, we put that level out, 17,220, which is the level above which the Nifty needs to trade to add some amount of confidence. The high, by the way, is 17,211. And so 9 points short, but almost there. Yesterday, we sold off exactly from those levels. So it's a level to watch. Let's see. Let's hope we are able to cross it, and more importantly, trade for some time above it and not selling off. But this is good. 160 points is what we have now. The Adani Group stocks, as we just put out, are doing a little better as compared to yesterday. Enterprises green, both up 3%. Enterprises sold off about 7-8% yesterday. Voltas, I just highlighted those takeaways from the management meeting, 2.5% higher. PNB Housing is up 3%. PNB Housing was down 10%. So some of these moves that you're seeing is basically reversal of what we saw yesterday. And I think you can say the same thing for Bank of India and a lot of these PSU banks, which sold off 6, 7, 8%. Railtel is up about 4% or so. NBCC is higher by about 3.5%. Yesterday's listing, which of course it looked like it would be a good one, but the market sold off, and so it's up. It's coming up, which is Divji, right? I mean, which is up 4% or so, 629. There is Reliance Infra, IOB, a lot of PSU banks, which basically have been the worst performing part of the market for the last 2 or 3 days, coming back up. And I think